Hurewa ki te pūkena ki te taura ki te taura. E tipu nei rā ko nā pū, ko nā wau, ko nā ka, ko nā rea. Ko nā wauau tāre wa tūterani. E ke panuku, e ke tangaroa. Haumi e, hui e, tā iki e. Tua ke au ki runa i te tihi o tako mauna. Ki pua hatu. Tū te mauna rā ki tai arahia. Ka rere nā pūrore mata o te rangi tū hā, ara ko te awa taurana, ara hoki ko te awa ohine mataro. O tira me mihia ke rā ki tō tātou kai whakarite i a tātou i tēnei ata. E te whanauna, e te matua, nā unei arataki nā karaki a tātou i tēnei ata. Nō reira tēnā koe. Tēnā hoki e te haukaina e te arawa whānui mai make tū ki Tongariro. Tēnā hoki kōtau tangata whenua, ko tātou anō tēnā. Tēnā hoki kōtau e nā rangatira e nā kai hautū, nā kanohi o nā tamariki o te motu. Kōtau ēnei. Kua e rau kia mai nei kōtau ki te tuku whakaaro. Runa e te kaupapa he ahara te kōrero mā tātou. Nā whakarite nā, ko kōtau nā kanohi o tātou tamariki ki putana e ki te motu. Ko kōtau nā reo o nā tamariki ka rono hia arataki nā kaupapa. I nā whakamārama tana, i nā tohu tana e tikāna nā ko kōtau rā tēnā. Ko hau nei hara mai tēnei rā, kai te mohe mai ko te waiahau. I have come today, I'd like to ki te mihi to the organisation that have given me the opportunity to be able to talk to you today. Tame Iti, Wairere Iti. Whakapapa to Waikato, whakapapa hia ki te arawa, whakapapa ki Ruatoki. I was a whāngai in Ruatoki raised by my koro and Hukarere and te Pure, Hukarere and te Pēku Purewa. An interesting thing about the theme, about the call around about tamariki. And I guess for me, tamariki have many meanings to it. And as a father of three grown adults, me and Wairere, toi kai rākau, e tīkaroa o te rangi. Also a koro of 6 mokopuna. And I guess that when we're talking about the theme about the tamariki, for me, for the first 5 years or the first 10 years of my life as a tamariki, raised in Ruatoki. And for my generation, most of that of learning came about at home, never at school. The only experience that I know about school is not a very nice one. And so for many of us there, raised in a small community in Ruatoki, was about working with our koroa and their kuia. Because I'm one of those kids of 35 children raised by them. And so we were the last of the generation other than their children, than their tamariki and other tamariki. So it was a very common practice there in part of my life there, being brought up in their community. And everything was based around sleeping together, working together, whakarono, and hope to work around what we got there in our community. So brought up in a hapu environment of 9 other maraes in the district of a huge population at that time in the 50s and the 60s. So everything that we learn as a child is about te reo whakarono. Me whakarono koe ki te kōrero. Kaua koe e kore me koe rate. So it's for those first 5 years, it's about listening and learning. And so we learned the language of the mita o tūhoi. And so that was the first 5 years. So going to the next stage at 5 and going to school was a whole new experience. And a whole new experience about the colonial system. And the colonial system was all geared up how to be a Pākehā, and how to talk like them, dress like them, walk like them, think like them. And everything around in the classroom in pink colours. It's everything in pink. It's all about the British Empire. So they teach you about, this is the British Empire in India, Africa, so you are part of the empire. Yeah, so, you kind of sit in there thinking about it, and because there was no, there was no manual books about how to be where I've been in the last 50, 60 years. So we had to be very creative what that is. So we are geared up. So almost to the point there, for the whole period of time for most of the tamariki, there was mixed thought around it. Mixed thought around, am I in the right place? Am I in the right place? Am I in the right country? Why am I singing God Save the Queen? Why am I standing up when they play God Save the Queen at the picture theatre at Tāneatua? All of those mixed feelings and thought that we had to go through there. So to right up on that period up to 15, and right up to 15, and then leaving home around about 16. And then meeting up with other Maoris, going down to Christchurch, we shared the same feelings, And so I started to think about many other things, and moving my own thought around, where do we need to go to? Where do we need to go to? So for the next 30 years, it's a whole ups and a whole lot of downs. In fact, there's a lot of exciting times. A lot of exciting times for me, for many of us there during that period of time, that we want to make those changes. I no longer want to stand and sing God Save the Queen. I no longer want to do all the many things that they expect us to be. And so we had to create a new whakaaro and kōrero. And how do we do that? We just got to go out there and do it. Yeah, and so they end up calling us names. They call us radicals, communists, many other labels that they call you for people who want to make those changes. So here we are today. So where do we go to? When we think about these things. And I'm constantly thinking about it. Yesterday we decided to go and grab our mokopuna down in Whakatane and brought them around there, sharing those time and space there when we need to be in touch, even with our own children. And I'm constantly talking to my oldest son in his 41. And I'm constantly still talking to him, give him a big kiss on the lips when I see him. And so him building that relationship. And this morning I read in the front page of the Herald, and not so nice about what's still happening with our children. In the front page of the Herald, and also in the middle page of the Herald. How are we going to, and I guess my view around that is about, we had to be responsible of making those changes The changes, not for me, is not within the system. There may be for you, but the system the changes need to be at home. And so the movement had to be from home, enable us there to work with our children, with our tamariki, probably more so for me now. I spend much more time there. I guess that many of you here in this room here, they spend a lot of time with your mokopuna. What is that? What does it look like? What are you trying to work there? So for me, working in the hapu environment, in the nation of Tūhoe, and I guess for us there, that we too as a nation need to work really hard around that. And first and foremost, we're really trying to maintain the working te mahi at home. And also there are many other aspects that we need to challenge the system there, that there have been some ongoing conversation about getting our tamariki off the system and working on that. So I've been working on the sideline, working on that to put together some kind of planning around getting our tamariki off the system and put some quarter around that. So that's happening there today. But that's my quarter really briefly. So rather than me having a quarter or whānui, I'm more interested in getting some kind of feedback from you and hea nā kōrero a koutou pātai, hea hai, so we can talk to each other and share some thoughts around that. So, koe re tako kōrero i tēnei wā, so ke tuku nātu ki a kōtou te wāhana kōrero mai ki a. Kia ora mō tēnā kōrero wā. Interesting thing about that and building up to the case itself. That took a period of about 7 years of that exercise. As you know, I ended up locked up in jail for it, for something crazy stuff. But for the children, at the apologies, there's two parts of the apologies to Ruatoki. One directly to the whānau that have been affected by it, and also and then directly to those whānau, and also the apologies to the community as a whole. Interesting thing about it is the first thing that come to mind for us. So we talked about that. There are aspects there that have been put the community was involved in it around that, and the behaviour of the police, and so a lot of that's an issue with therefore directly by Ruatoki, by the community. The ongoing conversation on that. How that affected the tamariki on the day of the raid, and then the follow-up right through that whole period of time. For me, at the apologies for me, when the police commissioner was, in fact, we invited him, each of the whānau of the full whānau on that particular day of the visit. The commissioner was invited to my home. I wanted the children to go through, to be part of the conversation. And so I had all of my mokopuna, then all of the mokopuna from the Friends mokopuna. In fact, we ended up with around about 25 people there at my home. And I wanted them to go through there because they are the puti of peace. And they need to be in the conversation. And so at the first instance of meeting the commissioner on our long driveway, we sent the tamariki out there and to kōrero and to... So and I guess for me, it's around about how do we deal with that kind of situation where children were always like many of us over the years, and the generation afterwards look at the police, a pig. They have a different aspect and different picture. So we had to try and paint a picture around that. And how do we make it to make people move on? Yeah, and so, so there's a whole lot of issue. I think, well, personally for me, from my point of view, not everybody will agree to it. But by and large, that there have been many conversations, many ways that we're dealing with the way, the attitude, not just the attitude of the children, but the attitude of the state. The attitude of the state when they see people, many of our people over the years, and it always have been negative. So it's always been been labelled for that.
Kia ora.
Well, the thing about the flag was this year at the Crown apologies. We talked about the return of the colonial flag back to the Crown, and it was a discussion and the debate that we had with all of the hapu right throughout the nation of Tūhoe, and that was ongoing conversation about the flag. The flag was given to us there many hundred years ago. Was given us freely. It's their patch that they want us to fly there on their marae. And so we decided that we want to get that back to the Crown. Thank you, but no thank you. You can have it back. And so we have created a flag. We already got a flag. And the flag is the mana motu hake o Tūhoe. There is a flag. We also acknowledge the Māori flag. And, but I think the whole question about flag is about making those changes. And I don't have an opinion what colour or what shape, what their flag, the debate that we have today and the millions of dollars that the government have spent to do that exercise. But I think more important, I guess, that it's really important that we do debate those issues. And then therefore why? And why we're doing it, and we decided what shape and form that is, why is that, and you're doing that for at this stage. So, well, I don't really have an opinion around which one of the 4 flags or the 5 flags, but more important that the people out there will need to debate those issues and do so, and maybe it's a time to let go of the colonial chain. Well, definitely there need to be some changes. Definitely there need to be changes. Definitely there need to be a collective thought by everybody. But there need to be a strong emphasis by tangata whenua. There need to be a more so on that nationally. And I think that iwi too need to be have aspect to that, and each of that at the iwi in terms of from the beginning of the kohanga reo. The kohanga reo need to be an aspect that need to be developed by the iwi and the hapu of the reo, and all of those, all of that need to be some shape or form that need to be included in that, I guess. I think all the schools need to be geared up to that, you know, and rather than, I think that all the ideas and thoughts for Māori developments, that they need to be included to all schools right throughout Aotearoa. I think it's really important if you've got a small population of Māori children at that school there that requires some assistance, and then you really need to check out that wai rātou, who are they? No hea rātou, where they're from, and then the thought and development are already there within their community if it needs to be. Then therefore there need to be ongoing conversation with the community, with the Māori community in your area, and talking to ki ngā Pākeke, to the ki ngā koro kuia on that. Really important for that to occur. Interesting discussion and conversation around in the nation or two around that. Because when we're talking about education, we're not really talking about mainstream education. So we're looking at really the aspect of and how do we make the difference, and how do we make the difference. And but the iwi and the hapu and the whānau need to come up with the concept, what they believe that we need to, how we can move forward. And I guess that once we make a decision as exactly what that is, and so the first thing we need to do is to capture all the kura. And to capture all the kura, the sale of all the kura from Tānea to Waimana, right up to Waikare Moana, Ruatahuna, Waiohau and so forth. And so we need to put together some thought around that, what shape and form that has to be. And and so we also around the development around te reo, and so around the history and all of the other things that is required for us to provide our children the mātauranatanga and the mōhiotanga. And so we can move and develop the nation. So we still at the early stages around that. And the interesting part of it, now we are now, the whānau hapu are now included in the conversation. A lot of these conversations, our community have never been involved in any of the conversation, other than be dictated by the Crown and the states. And that's who you hear from. But more important as a part of our moving on for tūhoes is building that relationship. If we do have a relationship with the states, the relationship will have to be a collective thought, a sharing of some thought, rather than dictatorship. So there need to be a conversation around nei wa mātai whakaaro, nei nā wawata o tūhoe, nei nā moemoe a tūhoe. So it had to be the aspiration and the dreams of the nation, and in order for us there to move. So also really important that we build that relationship with others whakaaro that are happening around. We might need to go. We're talking about maybe going out to Cuba to look at some of those developments around that, and so forth. And so there are some plans looking outside, but also looking in, and how do we need to develop that? I think that I always think back in growing up as a child, for the first 5 years, so for the first 5 years of our life, around working with animals, learning the aspect of what that is, what shape and form that is, and building. So the whānau is built up in out of that. In the first, after 5 years, by the time we were 10, reached the age of 10, we have a clear understanding of the pūtaiao, the tuna, the kai, and the things that we have to do, like most of us do growing up in this country. But I think it's really important that we have that also included in the kura. So they, haere te whakarapu tuna I te mahi kai, all of that shape or form that we are really essential part of our learning. And so the kura need to work, and I understand kohanga reo and other developments are already started on that. And I understand that many other iwi and hapu are already doing that themselves now.
Growing up, I used to get whacked on the knuckles, strapped on the hands, whacked across the legs for speaking te reo Māori. And today, I teach in kura kaupapa schools, and exactly what happened to me when I was a child is happening to a Māori child today, where we scold them in kura kaupapa environments for speaking English. Because we are trying to revive our language, te reo Māori, we now tell the children, koa kōrero Pākehā, don't speak English. Leave that useless language at the gate. That's what we say to the Māori child today. So my question to you, te whanauna tame, he aha te rongoa mō tāua ki te haere whakamua, kia kore ai tāua e riri i a tātou tamariki e kōrero Pākehā ana i roto i nā kura kaupapa Māori mō te orana o tō tāua reo.
Ko te ronua pēka kai a tātou tonu. Hei ana whakamua i te neke i te nākau i te wairua te tanata e kura e noho i roto i te riri. And so how do we move forward? And faith and trust and belief in our whakaaro, ke pono tātai ki o tātana whakaaro. E mea nui te reo, aha koe he ha te reo. Pena he reo Pākehā, he reo Māori, enari kawe au kati hia wera. Ke kōrero hia te reo nā reo ērua. Ke kōrero hia nā reo kato. Te reo nā manu, te reo nā kararehe, te reo nā rākau, te reo te hau. The many voices that they have. No reira, ko tō pātai pia heaha te ronua. Kai a tātou tonu te rona mō tērā. Ki te nākau māhaki, ki te tuku i te wairua. Ko te wairua o te tanata koe rā te mea nui. He riri kai roto i a tātou koe. Kai roto i a tātou kato. Aha kua ko wai te tanata. Enari kaua o ki tātou i riro mā te riri. He wāhana anō te riri, he wāhana anō kia tau te puehu ki raro. Koe rā pia te whakautu tana atu o tō pātai te tuahi.
Kia ora.
So the response to the question was, the answers to what she's asking, how do we need to, what should we do to ensure that children in kura kaupapa who are learning in te reo Māori and are speaking English, how do we do what was done to, not do what was done to us many years ago? And Tame's response is, the answer to those are in ourselves. And although there's anger within some of us because of the way we were treated and the way we were punished for speaking our reo, he said the wairua of the child is probably one of the most important things that we needed to protect. And so the answers for all of that are in us. We know what it kind of felt like to be punished in that way. And we know what it felt like, and we don't want to repeat that. So that was a short brief of his discussion, his answer.
Yeah, and add on put that too in my own personal experience of that, of anger. Anger comes from a feeling. They come to you, they get to your guts. Sometimes they kind of hang around there for many years. Many of us hold on to those things that we feel really angry about. And I guess for me that I felt really angry, but I didn't really know how to redirect my anger. And so a lot of that you need to develop. And sometimes you need to let it go, or else they get really pussy. And they come really funny shape and form. So how do we do that? So I came through many aspects, explored those sort of potential, where I need to go to and how I need to kind of let it go. Yeah, and it's amazing feeling experience, moving and shifting on from that. And then sometimes we talk about these things many years later. Yeah, when I was a kid there, that there's some terrible things. Yeah. And I think that we don't really want to spend too much time more on that, but to look at creating a picture, shape and form, is that how we can make it better for everybody else, and for myself too. And to make that shape, and for my tamariki and for my children. Many aspects they need to be challenged and to be directly challenged that change. So the iwi and the Aotearoa as a whole need to respond to that. And there should not be any quiet voices around in the nation around that. So we need to be clear, loud, as much as we can at this stage. So, mahi a te mai. Tēnā koe mo tēnā pātai, I koe I luna kei tō pātai. He mahi nui tērā o te kohanga reo te tauna i raro i te maru o te karauna. Ka riro te mana whakahaere i raro i te pōtai, ahakoa kai reira anō nā māngai whakahaere o te kohanga reo. Koe rā te mate o te hono i te tuku atu i te mana whakahaere, te whai nā hiriwa a te karauna. Ka mau atu o reke ki reira, ka noho koe ai kare tau mā rātau. Kai reira ko tuki tērā āhua tana i wane nui tonu i a tātou, ko tipu ake te tutu o te pēhuki roto i a nai tātou. Koe nei pēr te wā he whakaare noho, koe nei pēr te wā hei tuku atu ki reira, ke hoki atu te mana o nā kai whakahaere o te reo, ki o nā hapu, ki o nā whānau, ki nā iwi. Ka reitue, kaue e waiho i te upoko o te ika i reira tono ai i a koe he aha te aha me aha, tērā āhuatana. I guess that the dilemma with the whole dilemma that we have in the question about the response to the kohanga reo is around, and I guess that when we let go of an initiative that was created by women, by mothers, they believe that the power of shifting, of teaching of the reo was based in a little garage there in Patoni many years ago. And I guess that when we let go of that and let it to the Crown for a whole number of reasons, and it become an issue, and it become a problem. You created a problem right from the beginning. So as a result of that, and I have different other opinions, but I'll leave that to myself. But on a national scale, I think it's really important that the kohanga reo concept, there needs to be so there's many problems in it. And then I felt I really aroha for our kaimahi. They had to go through all their due process and ki te iti noho o nā pūtea hei tautoko i nā kaimahi. So all of that issue, there's an issue of payments and so forth. It's he raru tērā. I guess that there need to be from a Australian Union perspective myself, that there needs to be some shape or form around that, and enable to safeguard, to address a lot of those issues, or else we'll end up on Native Affairs and TV 1 and 3. We don't want that. I guess that many things I had to go through there in my feelings. All of us has some feelings and thoughts. And so the first things that we learn is what we see. And then when we see things, the eye can see what's good and what's not good. The ears can also hear things as very unusual things that are happening right in front of you. So you process that. So for me, I had to process everything that's right in front of my eyes and what I hear. And so what I hear is quite different what they're doing. And so what's happening is quite different from what my ears are hearing. So when I hear things like I learn about thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, so I heard all of those things there as a child there. I learned about Christian beliefs. And yet, so what I see and what I hear is quite the opposite. They steal, they kill, they committed all of those things there. And so I wonder as a child, I'm thinking and I'm sitting there going through that. And every time when I'm thinking, I'm looking through a window, I'm looking because we only got one little window, and one was actually two windows. The other window was actually, it was a sugar sack on it. It was a broken window. So I can only see through the other light. So I'm thinking, process all of those, all of that. And so a lot of those thoughts there, they remained with me for quite a long period of time. So I need to find a way with others, not by myself, but many other people before me. So many of those stories are being brought through my years and through te kōrero a te kōti, te kōrero a urua kēnana, te kōrero a mā koro a nanny further down on the road, at their response to there. So I'm a child, and in fact, that met up and heard a lot of those stories from the early stage of my life as a child, that they shared those stories. And so when you're stuck with that, and you kind of say, crikey, that's not nice. And so you need to talk to many people. So I met with people like Moana's brother, Sid Jackson. I met many other people like that over a long period of time. I read books of people that fought these battles. And so, but at the end of the day, you still got to take the talk there. You got to walk the talk. You got to walk it. You don't just verbally, you learn something from the Auckland University, wherever the case may be. You still got to go out there. You still got to go out there as a tūhoe, as a New Zealander, as a Kiwi, whatever name you want to carry. And so you still got to go there and put your face and your voice out there and make those changes. And I guess that the hui is about that, and how we can make those changes, and where do we need to go to. And then we had to consistently make those conversations. Not only, but take those conversations at the kai and breakfast, at tea, wherever we need to go, or we need to create a space that we have those ongoing conversations in order for us to move. Ka pai? Nō reira karema. Mihi aha koe e iti nā kōrero, nai ko te mea nui ko kōtau tēnei. I think it's really important for all of us as a nation that we need to look at the aspect of how to, what makes the difference? What is it? It's not just Tame Iti doing that, but all of us need to do that. All of us have to take those responsibilities to make the change and make the difference. I want to see that where that change is. I want to, at my age, still in my early age is to see that there need to be a. I mean, I never thought about 40 odd years ago that be in this room, in the room like this, to be able to say something and make. But I can feel it, I can hear it in the partai, in this room there, that people are ready to make those changes. And the only way we can make those changes is to trust each other and respect and trust. And respect the mana of everybody, and the mana of every man and woman and children here today, I tēnei rā. So, nō reira e kare mā, tēnei te mihi atu ki a kōtau nā kai hautū, tēnā kōtau ki ara hui tātai katoa. Ka mea, ka wera me ka wera wai a ki te wai, kia wete kia, tōkiri ki te wete
Ati e